One of the things you'll be doing in our library is shelving. This is putting the books that have been used, checked out, and returned back onto the shelves. In order to do that, you need to understand how our shelves are organized. In 1931, Ranganathan proposed these 5 principles that really governed the way we organize the library. And at the foundation of these is that our patrons are the most important part of our services. So books are for use, which means they're not meant to be left on a shelf or hidden behind closed and locked cabinets. For every reader, there is a book. And for every book, there is a reader. We want to save the time of the reader, and we want to remember that our library is a growing organism, so it is changing constantly. There are 2 main organizational systems used: the Library of Congress classification and the Dewey Decimal classification. Our library uses the Dewey Decimal classification to categorize our nonfiction library collection. We also keep our fiction in its own designated section, and in our library, it's around the perimeter for the most part. Spine labels are where you can see the information for shelving the books. So our shelves have shelf markers. The shelf markers say how wide the shelf is. And you read a shelf across the shelf and down to the next shelf. When you get to the bottom, you start up here at the top again. You read the shelves like you would a book from left to right. Our fiction section is organized alphabetically by the author's last name. We use on the shelf label the first 3 letters of the author's last name, but for shelving purposes, you need to know the whole last name, not just the first 3 letters. If several authors have the same last name, the next item to be used for alphabetizing is the first name. And then if there are several titles by the same author, the next item to be used is the title of the book. And of course, when you're looking at the title of the book, disregard a, an, or the if it's the first word in a title. Titles beginning with a number would begin the section. Remember, our goal is to help patrons find what they're looking for. So in our library, if we have a series that's numbered on the spine, then we organize in order of the series and not by title. This saves the patron time. You can see this as an example with Darren Shan. All of his Cirque du Freak books are in order because they're numbered on their spine. It follows that rule to help patrons find what they're looking for. The spine label is the call number, and that's what designates the location of the book on the shelf. Each book has its own unique number, and if you misshelve a book, it's like it's lost on the shelf. The guide numbers on the end of each shelf help patrons locate where on the shelves they're looking, and then the spine label on each book helps locate the book on the shelf. Spine labels with call numbers are all right here. This number indicates the class is natural science. This number indicates mammals. These are the first three letters of the author's last name. Some call numbers may be preceded by guide words to show a special location like reference, careers, or oversized. It's important to use your number sense when working with call numbers. 599 comes before 599.001. Nothing comes before something. 02 is smaller than 0.1. Shelved by the call number, then by the author, then by the title. And remember to disregard a, an, or the if it's the first word in the title. When in doubt, ask. Library staff is happy to help you. Without an organization system, we'd never find anything. Happy shelving!